Hi, Facebook. It's me. I don't have to tell you who it is. I just wanted to check in with you guys and give you a quick update. I promise you this is not going to be another 20-minute video. Promise. So if you feel like watching now, that's fine. If not, watch it later. Don't watch it at all. It doesn't matter. But I did want to share with you something that's pretty amazing. If you watched my last video back in December, I shared with you how I was in the middle of a storm, and I'm still in that storm almost 5 months later, and I'm still in it, and I shouldn't even say I'm still in it, I'm still going through it. I'm probably going to come out. I know that I'm coming out sooner rather than later. But I did want to update you. If you watch my video back in the end of December, I shared with you that on November 13th, I contemplated suicide. I can talk about it now without really crying about it. But I did. I contemplated suicide Tuesday, November 13th. And it was nothing but the grace of God that I didn't. My life was saved by a stranger who is affectionately known as Pastor Smith. Pastor Smith is a stranger over 800 miles away in Georgia. I had no idea who he is, who he was at the time, but he ministered to me by chance to the point where I no longer wanted to commit suicide. So as a result, ever since then, he and I have been talking. We spend hours and hours and hours on the phone in Bible study. I have no idea who this man is. He's not on social media. I do subscribe to his blogs, though. We've never met. We didn't know each other before Tuesday, November 13th. But as a result, we spend countless hours in Bible study almost every night, which is really great for me because I have been traveling for work quite a bit, and I've missed almost a month of Sundays of not being in the physical building of church, which is really crazy because I really miss my church family, and it'll probably be another couple Sundays before I return. However, it's good that I'm being fed without physically being in the building. And I think that's something that's really important for ministries nowadays is, not to simply, as Pastor Smith would say, go through this routine of, checking the box off for Sunday morning worship like you did your due diligence and spent time with the Lord. It's important to be fed outside of Sunday morning worship. And fortunately, I didn't know what it looked like, but now I do, and I'm getting it. Pastor Smith and I spend countless hours on the phone in Bible study, and I have. The Lord has done some amazing things since I've been in this storm. I'm actually coming off a 40-day fast. Which went really, really well. As I mentioned back in December, and even more so now, the Lord has done some amazing things, has revealed to me some amazing things. My relationship with Him has grown and thrived in a manner that I never even knew was possible. I knew I wanted more than Sunday morning worship. I knew I needed more than Tuesday night Bible study. I knew that I needed more, that I wanted that, but it wasn't enough. And now I can finally say I got exactly what I'm needing. So I've been in this 40-day fast. I'm coming off of it, but I did want to share something with you that's pretty amazing. As I said, I'm in the storm, right? And that day that I contemplated suicide, I was talking to Pastor Smith one day last week, and he was saying how, some of the things that I've experienced are going to be used as my platform, this is my testimony that I got to share with people. And I was crying, saying to him that I don't like being reminded of that day that I had contemplated. It is, if you've known anyone, or if you've been a person yourself who's contemplated suicide, who's attempted but failed, it is a dark place. That's pretty scary. I don't ever want to go there. But there's some things that come up that remind me of that day, and I don't. And so I was on the phone with him crying, and I was telling him I don't like to be reminded of that day. And I said, I'm crying and I'm saying, I don't know if you've ever been there before, if you've ever contemplated, but it's not a pretty place to be at mentally. And everyone that knows me knows I would never do anything to hurt myself. I love my life. I love my children, love my mother. I would never do anything. But that moment that I had contemplated was a very, very scary dark day. And if you watch my video, or maybe you didn't watch the video, my girlfriend had gotten me out of the house that morning. She didn't know anything about it. And just before she was about to bring me back home after running some errands, she was on the phone with her cousin. And she said, well, maybe, she said, you can talk to my cousin, maybe he can help you with something or whatever. So I got on the phone, and long story short, it turned out to be Pastor Smith. I had no idea who he was at the time, didn't know anything about him. They were talking about something totally unrelated. Well, he ministered to my spirit so tough when we were on the phone that I ended up not wanting to commit suicide anymore. And that was on the morning of Tuesday, November 13th. And so ever since then, he and I have grown in this relationship. Again, I don't know who this guy is. He's not on social media, so I subscribe to his blogs. But to that extent, I've never met this man in my life, over 800 miles away. So I was telling him, crying to him on the phone, saying, I don't like being reminded of that day. And I don't know if you've ever been there before, but it's not a pretty place. And I'm telling him all this stuff on the phone. And he says, no, he says, I've been in dark places before. This is what he shared with me last week. I've been in dark places before, but never probably as dark as where you are. I've never had to be talked off the ledge, basically. He said, but I'll never forget. It was back in, 2014 or something like that. He said, I don't remember where he said he was going. He was driving somewhere. He said, and then the Lord told him to pull over. He was on this dark street, and he pulled over. And he said he caught a glimpse of what the Lord showed him. And the Lord said, this is what it looks like right before a person commits suicide. He said it was scary to him. What he saw was scary. He doesn't know why he was shown that, why the Lord told him to pull over. He said, I'll never forget, I was like on White Pond or something like that. He said, I don't know why the Lord told me to pull over. And I said, wait, what did you say? And he repeated it again. And then I burst into more tears, because what he did not know is that day that he talked me off the ledge, Tuesday, November 13th, we met over the phone. We met on White Pond Drive, a street here in my city that he's never been on in his life, never been to, never heard of. Whew. That's pretty scary. And we were both pretty silent on the phone after I shared that with him. He's never been here before. He doesn't know anything about White Pond Drive. I've never told him that. There'd be no reason for that street name to come up ever in our conversation. Nothing. There's nothing. He was floored. And I was floored. And to know that 5 years ago, he caught a glimpse of what it looks like before someone commits suicide. And 5 years later, it would be me that he talked off a ledge, unbeknownst to him. He had no idea I had planned on committing suicide, but he ministered something to me so powerful that I didn't, obviously. But that's something, ain't it? Ain't that something? Mind-blowing. It just confirms that God is all in the midst of everything that's happening. He says he doesn't think that I realize how much him ministering to me does for him. It just reconfirms what his ministry looks like. His ministry is not, just a Sunday morning worship service. It extends far beyond the church walls. And here he is, building me up and strengthening my relationship, and straightening my walk with the Lord over 800 miles away. A total stranger. And I think that was, I think this is worth me sharing with you that, 5 years ago, he caught a glimpse of what suicide looks like on a street somewhere in Georgia named White Pond something. And little did he know, it'd be me 5 years later whose life he was saving on White Pond Drive. So anyway, I'm good. I am coming through my storm. The Lord has shown some amazing things. Things I can share with you, things I can't share with you because I can't even begin to process all of it. I've testified to a few people that I know were pretty stunned and moved to tears by some of the things that the Lord has done. And I I don't know. I just wanted to check in with you guys and share that with you that God is still good all the time. If my church family, if you guys are watching, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I can't wait to fellowship with you guys. Um, and to my Facebook family and friends, I appreciate you watching. Know that the Lord has me and you in the palm of his hand, and nothing happens by coincidence. It's all by his permission. So anyway, I promised it wasn't going to be 20 minutes. I know it's 10 minutes, but whatever. All right. I hope you guys have a happy Tuesday, and I will talk to you a little bit later.